Hello, my name is Putri Siti Aina binti Tun Izami, and my group mates names are Nurul Yanti Aziani, Siti Humaira Izzati, and Nurul Atika Fakirah. We will be presenting our assignment for business statistics, and our title is time management.
Introduction. This assignment requires us to apply the knowledge that we learned in Chapter 2, which is descriptive distribution. Background of study. In this assignment, the topic that we choose for this survey was the effect of time management on academic performance in KPM Ayer Molek student management. In KPM Ayer Molek, students have different social life and different class schedule to organize their time effectively. In this case, we take this opportunity to survey 100 students in KPM Ayer Molek and investigate how they manage their time wisely, maintaining their academic performance. Objective. To study how KPM Ayer Molek student time management for daily activity to make sure they use their time well.
Here is the sampling method for our assignment. Before calculating the sampling method and spreading our questionnaire, we would like to disclose our population of choice because it is simple to focus on a smaller scope for this study than a larger one. We decided that all of the students at KPM Ayer Molek who answered our survey were selected as the population of our choice as they are the most suited to conduct this survey on. The next step is to identify our sample, which should be done by taking a sample from our data. The strategy that we will use to determine our stratified sampling method is outlined here. We firstly gathered all of our data, including the population, sample, and sampling frame. Finally, after gathering all of the necessary information, we proceed to create a table, as shown at this slide, for calculating the sample using the formula below. Finally, the number of students from various courses that we should select for our sampling method is 44 from the Diploma in Accounting, 34 from the Diploma in Business Studies, and 22 from the Foundation in Accounting. As a result, the total number of students chosen as sample is 100.
Data collection method. Data collection method that we have decided to use is online questionnaire because it is a straightforward, easy to use approach for collecting data. We are also able to gather the data we need from our population by creating questionnaire that are appealing to respondent eyes.
Here is the data representation. I would like to show you the qualitative data representation. For question 1, here is the survey outcome as shown at this table. Diagram 1.0 revealed that the majority of respondents to the survey are enrolled in the Diploma in Accounting program. The poll revealed that the people who answered our survey were 44 students who are pursuing Diploma in Accounting, 34 in Business, and 22 in Foundation in Accounting. By surveying students about their courses, we can finally use the stratified sampling method to equally distribute the sample. In this way, our sample will be more representative and our data will be more reliable. For question 2, here is the survey outcome as shown at this table. Based on diagram 1.2, it was found that the majority of students who answered our survey is female. According to the pie chart, it was stated that the percentage of female students answering our survey is 69% and 31 students are male. For the question 3, here is the survey outcome as shown at this table. The pie chart in diagram 1.3 illustrates the respondents' feedback on how well they manage their time. According to this pie chart, the majority of the respondents, 61%, manage their time well, but the remaining 39% do. For the question 4, here is the survey outcome as shown at this table. According to the graph 1.0, 30 students agree that poor time management is daydreaming. 11 students agree that poor time management is missing deadline. 25 students agree that poor time management is oversleeping. 28 students agree that poor time management is procrastinating. And 23 students agree that poor time management is poor scheduling. Here is the quantitative data representation. Here is a table that represents the survey outcome, and here I also have calculated the class interval for question 5. According to the histogram, frequency curve, and ogive graph, out of a total of 100 respondents, 7 students sleep between 1 to 2 hours per day, 46 students sleep between 5 to 6 hours per day, 20 students sleep between 7 to 8 hours per day, and 11 students sleep between 9 to 10 hours per day. This question has a class width of 2. Here is another table that represents the survey outcome for our study in a day. And here I also have calculated the class interval for question 6. According to the histogram, frequency curve, and ogive graph, which is a diagram 1.5, graph 1.4, and graph 1.3, respectively, out of 10 respondents, 25 students study 1 to 2 hours per day, 37 students study for 3 to 4 hours per day, 30 students study for 5 to 6 hours per day, 12 students study for 7 to 8 hours per day, and 8 students study for 9 to 10 hours per day. This question has a class rate of 2. Lastly, here is a table that represents the survey outcome for times practice of COVID in the week. And here I also have calculated the class interval for question 7. In diagram 1.6 and graph 1.5, according to the bar chart and ogive chart, there are a total of 100 respondents, with 31 students practice their hobby once a week, 25 students practice their hobby 2 times a week, 26 students practice their hobby 3 times a week, 5 students practice their hobby 4 times a week, and 5 students practice their hobby 5 times a week.
Here, we also need to calculate the standard deviation for all the quantitative questions. For question 5, which is how many hours did you sleep in a day, we have calculated the midpoint x squared, number of x squared, number of students, which is frequency that was gathered from the data that we surveyed, and also the multiplication of f and x. As a result, for the sample standard deviation that we calculated for hours of sleep in a day among KPM Ayer Molek students is 1.89. For question 6, which is how many hours did you study in a day, I have also calculated the midpoint x squared, number of students, which is frequency that was gathered from the data that we surveyed, and also the multiplication of f and x. So as a result, the sample standard deviation that we calculated for hours of study in a day among KPM Ayer Molek students is 2.43. Lastly, here is question 7, which is how many times do you practice your hobby in a week? We also have calculated the x squared, the number of students, which is frequency that we have gathered from the survey, and also the multiplication of fx and the multiplication of fx squared. As a result, the sample standard deviation that we calculated for times practice of hobby in a week among KPM AM students is 1.65. Here, I have calculated the coefficient of variation for 3 of the quantitative questions. Question 5, which is how many hours did you sleep in a day? The coefficient of variation that I've calculated is 0.32. And for the question 6, which is how many hours did you study in a day? The coefficient of variation that I've calculated is 0.56. And lastly, for how many times do you practice in a week, your hobby in a week, which is question 7, the coefficient of variation that I've calculated is 0.68. Lastly, here is the present measures of skewness that I have calculated. The present measure of skewness for question 5 that I've calculated is 0.09. This present measures of skewness is more than 0, so it is positively skewed. For question 6, the present measures of skewness that I've calculated is 0.43. The present measures of skewness is more than 0, so it is also positively skewed. Lastly, for question 7, the present of measures of skewness that I've calculated is 0.87, which is more than 0, so it is also positively skewed.
Here is the data analysis for all of the quantitative questions which range from 5 to 7. For question 5, to calculate the mean, I need to first calculate the midpoint, which is x. Mean that we get for question 5 is 5.78 hours. Here to calculate the mode for question 5. The mode for question 5 is 5.57. Lastly, for median, I have calculated and identified position. So the median that we got is 5.67. The distribution skewness for question 5 is positive distribution because mode is less than median and median is less than mean, which is 5.57, 5.67, and 5.74 respectively. For question 6, to calculate the mean, I need to first calculate the midpoint, which is x. The mean that we get for question 6 is 4.32. Here to calculate the mode for question 6. The mode for question 6 is 3.27. And lastly, for median, I have calculated and identified position. The median that we got is 3.85. Distribution skewness for question 6 is a positive distribution because mode is less than median and median is less than mean, which is 3.27, 3.85, and 4.32 respectively. For the last questions, which is 7, to calculate the mean, I multiply the frequency and the x. So the formula that I use for mean is total fx divided by total frequency. Lastly, the mean that we get for question 7 is 2.44. Next is to find the mode. We need to identify the most frequently occurring value in the dataset. So the most occurring value is 31 students. Therefore, the mode for question 7 is 1 time a week. For median, I have calculated and identified position. And then to find the location of median class, the formula that we use is sample n plus 1 divided by 2. As the result, we get the 55th position. So the median that we got is 2 times a week. The distribution skewness for question 7 is a positive distribution because mode is less than median and median is less than mean.
Conclusion for this survey finding is our study of KPM Ayer Molek student time management has led us to the conclusion that most students manage their time effectively. As a result of all the data that have been gathered, we have discovered that students from the course diploma in accounting their A make up the majority of those who have actively responded to our survey. They are among the majority who respond to and answer our questionnaire. According to the data, 61% of respondents to the poll say they have good time management ability. As a result of poor time management, 28% more people put off doing something. This has really opened our eyes because more students are managing their time well than we expected. But those who don't manage their time well may need to put a little bit more effort when allocating their time. Due to the numerous ways that learning methods have been altered to assist students in reducing their stress and worry before tests, there have been several talks regarding time management over the year, and there are still many fresh ideas being put up. This research provides a better understanding, awareness, and knowledge of time management among college students pursuing diverse courses.
Lastly, for suggestions for survey finding for our assignment, to begin, after conducting the study and sending out questionnaires to respondents, we obtained a few suggestions to help KPM IMO students manage their time effectively. One of them is to plan your week ahead of time in contrast to your term calendar, which is fully planned out at the beginning of each term. We also recommend that students set out specific times for studying. In addition to having a separate study area, they should set aside specified hours each day to focus on their studies. We also suggest that they schedule activities after their schooling is over. One of the most difficult yet necessary parts of effective time management is prioritizing academic work. Finally, we have suggestions for a better data collection method for this survey, which is a telephone survey. This is proposed since phone surveys are significantly less expensive than in-person surveys. Phone surveys may also be reliable in this scenario since we can obtain more information from respondents and more accurate data for our surveys. That is all from our group. Thank you.